on board this virtual fam tour with service from your computer or mobile device to beautiful Cochise County, Arizona, USA. We'd like to ask you to fasten your seatbelts at this time and hold on to your seats as you prepare to experience the remarkable natural wonders of the area. Get your tray tables ready because Cochise County boasts international cuisine, mom and pop delicacies, authentic Mexican fare, delicious local brews, and award-winning wineries. The weather in Cochise County is extremely comfortable thanks to the high elevation. So whether your passion is hiking, biking, birding, climbing, or just a love of the supernatural, you can enjoy extensive adventures all year long. Prepare to enjoy a bit of each one of our communities today, from Benson to Bisbee, Douglas to Sierra Vista to Wilcox, as we are cleared for takeoff. Sit back, enjoy, and explore Cochise.
Hey there, my name is Zach, and I'm an interpretive park ranger here at Coronado National Memorial, located in Cochise County, right on the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm fortunate enough to be able to spend time in this unique and dynamic area, one full of stories, history, biological diversity, a million ways where we can find the stories within ourselves. Here in Cochise County, we have 3 national park sites, all providing unique and beautiful experiences in ways of exploring the cultural and ecological history of the Madre and Sky Islands. Fort Bowie National Historic Site, located in historic Apache Pass. We have Chiricahua National Monument, located in the Chiricahua Mountains. And Coronado National Memorial, here on the Arizona-Sonora border. Native American culture is a crucial aspect of the land at all 3 park sites. The Chiricahua Mountains and greater region are part of the ancestral homelands of the Chiricahua Apache. As Spanish colonization turned to pressure by Mexico and the United States, these lands were taken and the native people forcibly removed. Only a few moments of solitude and silence in these beautiful places brings the emotions of peace and serenity. Coronado, interestingly, is designated as a national memorial. As one enters the park through the oak woodlands, it may be a bit confusing to really experience what this park is all about. Some typical questions that come to mind are, where is the memorial? Who is Coronado? And why is this individual of much significance to our nation, to this region, to the National Park Service? And rather than looking directly at the question of why this one man might be of such importance, or why one culture, Spanish in this example, might be the true story of this park, rather this national memorial interprets and commemorates an expedition of 1540 of Europeans, of Spaniards, coming through this area. But instead of focusing purely on the story of this expedition, we look a little bit more at the impact of not only this expedition, but of Spanish or European colonialism and conquest in this part of North America. And if we fast forward 500 years, we can see the results around us. The expedition came through this river valley right behind me. But through time, the landscape, the culture, the people have immensely changed with the additions that the Spaniards brought in the form of agricultural crops, whether they're plants or animals. Religion has played a huge role in how humans interact with each other and the landscape. And so the story that we tell here has not finished. It's not a 2-year story, but rather it's an invitation into looking how we are part of that story, how we are part of humans that contribute to an ever-changing culture and a relationship with the land. and how that plays a role in the borderlands of the United States and Mexico. Having 3 National Park Service sites here in southeastern Arizona in Cochise County is a blessing, not only to visitors, but to residents alike. The amount of ways to connect with the ecosystem, with the wildlife, with nature here is almost unparalleled. The diversity of public lands provides countless opportunities for one to truly understand this unique part of North America. So if I was asked what I enjoy most about this area, would be the access to the beauty of nature and the endless exploring and adventures that provides.
Hi, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Jess.
And we are park rangers here at Kartchner Caverns State Park in Benson, Arizona. And we are super excited to talk about what we have here to offer here in Cochise County. In November of 1974, 2 young cavers climbed into a sinkhole on the side of a hill in the foothills of the Whetstone Mountains. After squeezing, crawling, and duck walking over 400 feet through narrow, twisting passages, they found themselves in a cavern so large that it never seemed to end. They saw incredible glistening formations and could hear water dripping like rain. But from what they could see, there were no signs of any other person ever having been in the cave. Realizing the significance of what they had found, they kept the caverns a secret, along with the landowners, the Kartchner family. They kept that secret for 14 years. Finally, after many secret meetings and some special legislation, the caverns and the surrounding land was purchased by the state of Arizona in 1988, and Kartchner Caverns State Park was born. Before beginning construction on this new park, the state spent years doing research inside the caves and above ground. They wanted to be sure they didn't damage the fragile ecosystem that exists inside the cave, but they also wanted to understand the connections between the desert above and the humid, constant temperature cave below. After many years of research and careful development, the park officially opened to the public in November of 1999. Now, more than 20 years later, Kartchner Caverns is still a favorite destination for visitors from around the world.
Inside our cave, rain or shine, summer or winter, it's always a humid 71 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a drastic change from the desert environment above. Take a few steps and it's almost as if you're traveling into an entirely different world. Thin stalactites in the shape of delicate soda straws hang from the ceiling with drops of water clinging to their ends. When that drip of water falls, it leaves a microscopic ring of mineral calcite, slowly making the soda straw just a little bit longer. Our cone-shaped stalactites silently adorn the cave, resembling forever frozen icicles. We also have thin formations known as draperies hanging from the ceiling, resembling a curtain blowing in the breeze. Some draperies even have stripes of color in them, making them look like strips of bacon. And our delicate twisting formations known as halictites seem to defy gravity as they grow upwards from the ceilings, walls, and other formations. Sometimes a stalactite and a stalagmite will connect, creating a column. One of the most well-known and admired formations in the cavern is a 58-foot column that the discoverers named Kubla Khan. Kubla Khan sits in the center of our throne room section of the caverns and is one of the tallest known cave column formations in the state of Arizona.
Although this park is known for its beautiful caverns, there are just as many things to enjoy above ground. The park has a large campground with sites that can accommodate RVs as well as tents. There are also 2 long looping trails in the park that will take you through the Whetstone Mountains and the San Pedro River Valley. You can also hike into the Coronado National Forest on the Guindani Loop Trail. This trail gains in elevation, giving hikers even more sweeping views of the valley below. But wherever you hike, make sure you plan ahead and bring plenty of water. If you need maps of the trails, just stop by the Discovery Center and see the ranger at the desk. We have plenty of maps to share. If you are looking for a shorter walk or a spot to sit and reflect, Our hummingbird garden is adjacent to the Discovery Center. This garden features native plants and water harvesting features and has several shaded spots to sit and watch hummingbirds and butterflies fly between flowers. The park is also a monarch butterfly way station. We have several plants which the monarchs like to feed and lay eggs on during its migratory journey. And at night, you can enjoy a landscape of stars stretched out above you. Kartchner Caverns State Park is also an international dark sky park, recognized by the International Dark Sky Association for its beautiful night sky viewing.
Kartchner Caverns may be our favorite place in Cochise County, but there are many things to see and do all across the area. You can camp and experience many of the wonderful things Cochise County has to offer. There's a great variety of hiking trails across public lands like the Forest Service, the National Park Service, and the Bureau of Land Management. The nearby historic towns of Bisbee and Tombstone will take you back to the Old West with tales of mining and gunfights. Cochise County also lies on the migration path of numerous bird species, making it a great place to birdwatch. And if you're here at the right time of year, you can see hundreds of sandhill cranes in flight. No matter what your interest, there's something for everyone, and we hope to see you visit us and the rest of Cochise County on your next trip to Arizona.
Hello, my name is Betsy Kunzer. My husband Sandy and I have volunteered here at the Nature Conservancy's Ramsey Canyon Preserve since we moved here 21 years ago. We moved to Sierra Vista because after moving all over, this met our criteria for clean air, a nice place to live, easy access to the outdoors, but especially because we could volunteer at places like the San Pedro River, Coronado National Memorial, and especially here in Ramsey Canyon. Geologically, we're in what's known as the Basin and Range Province, also called the Sky Islands. It's characterized by lots of small mountain ranges separated by block fault valleys filled with grass and desert. And if you look on a map, or down on a map, it looks like a herd of caterpillars moving from Sonora up to Oregon. If you just stand in the valley, it looks like mountain islands surrounded by seas of grass and desert. Here in the Huachucas, geologically, we've got a basement granite foundation with balsa quartzite, which is an old beach sand forming the cliffs. We've got some limestone from when we were an inland sea, and then it all got mixed up a little bit by some ancient volcanoes that blew up just south of us in Mexico. One rim of one of those volcanoes forms part of Coronado National Memorial. Each of these mountain ranges and the valleys, but particularly the mountain ranges, are slightly different. Both geologically and biologically. It's called the island effect or the sky island effect with us. Geologically, mines here in the Huachucas didn't produce much in the way of either gold, silver, or copper, which is mostly what people were looking for. But you go one mountain range over to the east in the Mules, and Bisbee was a famous copper production town. You go 18 miles to the northeast to the Tombstone Hills, they had some very productive silver mines. Sky Island effect. Biologically, here in the Huachucas, we have an agave that doesn't grow anywhere else, the Huachuca agave. But we don't have any chickadees. Tufted titmouse takes the place of the chickadees here in the Huachucas. We have alligator juniper, but we don't have any one-seed juniper. You go 2 mountain ranges over to the Chiricahuas, they don't have the Huachuca agave, but they've got both chickadees and tufted titmouse. And they've got both alligator juniper and one-seed juniper, Sky Island effect. Here in southeast Arizona, we are a hotbed of biodiversity. We have here in the mountains species from the Sierra Madre in the south, from the Rocky Mountains in the north, mixing and mingling. In the valleys, we have species from the Chihuahuan Desert to the east and the Sonoran Desert to the west, also mixing and mingling. One of our big advantages, biologically speaking, is that we have a 6,300 foot elevation difference between the bottom of the valley and the top of Miller Peak. So if you start at the bottom of the valley, you can, in 28 miles, go through 5 different life zones. At the San Pedro River, we have a gallery of cottonwood and willow forest with woodhouse toads and vermilion flycatchers, green-tailed towhees. You go up a level, you're in desert scrubland, and you've got woodhouse scrub jays, possibly a Mojave rattlesnake. You go up one more level, you're in grassland with roadrunners and gopher snakes. You go through a narrow band of oak savanna, and you're here in our beautiful Ramsey Canyon. I'm not at all prejudiced, Madrean oak woodland with 3 kinds of live oaks, Cow's white-tailed deer, which happens to be the 2nd smallest deer in the U.S., elegant trogons, sulfur-bellied flycatchers, coati, the occasional black bear. And if you keep going up, you end up in montane forest on the top of Carr and Miller Peaks with quaking aspen, spruce and fir, Steller's jays, and red zinnia. I love it here. My favorite place is probably, I have to admit, Ramsey Canyon. It has the creek. It's cooler in the summer. It doesn't have as many mosquitoes as the San Pedro River. I love coming up watching the Cow's white-tailed deer just bouncing around on the hillsides in the summer. I love the way the maples turn red and yellow and orange and pink in the fall. I love the way we get more snow than down in town during the winter. Time-release creek water. And mostly I love the fact that I can come up here any day that it's open. It's always beautiful. And I often find something, even after 21 years, that I've never seen before. I invite you to come down. I'll be happy to be a docent and lead you on a walk in Ramsey Canyon. We've got lots of other great people in the area who are just as fond of the San Pedro River and Coronado. Come visit and see what I fell in love with.
Welcome. Bienvenidos. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jeannie. The last name is Jordan. I was born and raised in Douglas, here in Cochise County. I am what they call the old cheerleader. For the last 30 years, I have been doing tours in this area. I like telling the story of our area. And there's a lot of stories to tell for Cochise County and in Douglas. And so this is one of the things, when I got hired years ago, I'm retired now, but when I got hired, I couldn't believe they were gonna pay me to do this, to do tours, to be able to talk about my favorite place. I like telling people that there's so many adventures. This is like a gateway to any kind of adventure you wanna have. Whether you're into the natural, birding, or whether you're into hiking, or whether you're into histories, you will find it in Cochise County. So for me, working in the tourism, volunteering in the tourism is a real treat. So I invite you to learn more and let me show you. When I do a tour, I like people to see what I see every day. And we have a lot of exciting adventure here in Douglas. All the way from, when I do a tour, I leave it up to you. But I have an agenda. I want you to know that we were the first international airport of the Americas. We have an amazing little museum that you can come and discover our history. We have a Douglas William home it's a museum that captures our history here on the border, whether it's the mining history, the cattle industry, whatever it might be, the railroad, it is at the Williams home. We have a really treat. We have an art car museum. There's all kinds of ways to express art, but there's nothing like seeing the art car museum that we have here in Douglas. That is an adventure to see. We have the Gadsden Hotel. Just look around here behind. You will see one of the grandest hotels in the Southwest. We feel really lucky that it is here in Douglas. We have something really special here in Douglas, and that is the Douglas Veterans Commemoration Project. We have a veterans exhibit that honors all who served, not just from our community that served in Vietnam era, but now that we're capturing the veterans that have served through all of the eras. We have identified many veterans. We have identified over 247 Purple Hearts here in Douglas. We know that there are many veterans out there, and we want them to know that we honor you. We want to say thank you, and this is our way of saying it. So there are many things that you can pick to see here in Douglas. Again, it's the Douglas Williams Home, it's the Art Car World, it is the Air Museum, it's the Gadsden Hotel, it's the Veterans Exhibit. You're welcome to come and explore. And if you look me up, I'll be happy to show it all to you. Douglas has some magic. We're right on the border. Our sister city, which is Agua Prieta translated is water, dark. They sit right on the border. We're approximately 10, 11 blocks from the border from where we're filming right now. The community over there is special to me because it is a place that I have relatives. It's a place where there's amazing restaurants. It's very, very accommodating. And it is a place that I love going across and visiting. So living on the border is a cultural experience that I can't even begin to explain other than you've got two cultures coming together and becoming one culture here on the border. Whether you're into the food, the music, whatever it is, and they are a gateway into Mexico. So living on the border is a special treat. What I'd like to offer you is an invitation to come to Cochise County. An invitation to see and experience what I see and feel almost on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if I feel like I want to have a bohemian experience or if I want to go hiking. There's a Chiricahuas there. There's birding. There's these amazing areas to go birding. If I want a museum where the West is, I can go to Tombstone. I can go to Sierra Vista to see the wonders that they have there. There are just so many, or Kartchner Caverns, or name it, it's here, and it's comfortable. There's not a lot of street lights. So you have the ability to really sit back, enjoy, and oh, I gotta tell you, food everywhere in Cochise County, excellent. You know, it is one of those places that if you're into whatever food you want to experience, you will find it here in Cochise County. What I'm offering is, please come to Cochise County and experience what we experience every day here.
Thank you for joining the Explore Cochise virtual fam tour. We hope you enjoyed the sky-high view of what Cochise County has to offer. To plan your next adventure, visit explorecochise.com. You are now free to roam about the county.